Welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to play some additional games with the buff green aggro deck. Now this deck I think is very strong for climbing up the ladder to Dummy Thicc, and since we're near the beginning of the season, if you're trying to get to Dummy Thicc, this is a good deck to try. One of the reasons why this deck is so good for this time period is just because the games are really fast. And in a trading card game, whenever you're trying to climb up the ladder, or I guess in any sort of game, having a deck that is, has maybe games that are more like 10 minutes instead of 20 minutes, you need to only achieve a win rate of maybe like 55 or 60% to climb well, especially if you're in the areas with the win streaks, as opposed to like even having a really control deck that takes like 45 minutes or to an hour where you're achieving like a 70% win rate. You actually get up the ladder faster with a faster deck. So the one change I've made from the deck guide, which I'm going to link down in the description below, is I removed the two green Mega Penguins and put in four CleanUpGood. And the reason for this is a nod to the green Mega Penguin caffeine deck. Right now, the only really way that this deck has to answer that deck is CleanUpGood. But basically, with one CleanUpGood, you're pretty much guaranteed to win that matchup if you navigate it correctly, and you end up having three green Pudge. And so, even though that deck isn't super popular right now, I really felt like this was helping for it. And then the other thing is because the green Mega Penguin caffeine deck is so popular, or not so popular, but because it exists, people have started teching around Green Mega Penguin and making sure that they have a way to answer it. So in this deck, Green Mega Penguin was more like a nice to have that would sometimes cheese out games. But now pretty much everyone is ready for it just because of that other deck. So I don't think it's as strong as it was when I originally made the guide. And that's why we've made the adjustments to the deck list. All right, let's get started and let's jump into the first game. All right, taking a look at the mulligan. Okay, so we have a bunch of two drops. We definitely don't need all of these. So I think I'm going to keep at most two drops. And then the question is, do I want inspiring story? So maybe I actually just keep one two drop because I really want like I think I really want to have a curve of like two into something. And inspiring story, like I would keep that if I had a popcorn or maybe a peppy or something that like went with it. But because it was kind of on its own, I really don't think it was a good keep. All right, like because it's more of a card you pair with a different card. Okay, so looking at our hand here, I think Walk the Runway is a good rod because I don't think we'll need two of those. And okay, so we'll pass because keep in mind with this deck, you don't want to be using the removal. Removal is there just for emergencies because it's an aggro deck and we're trying to end the game on on the cycles 5 or 6. And so every time we use a card, like every time we use a spell in a way that it is not remaining on the board as a card, we set back our clock by half a turn. So, and the reason I say half a turn is generally you get two cards a turn unless the vibe check is a tie. So, one of the things we want to do now is like plan out our turns. So, I think if we went Penguin, we would go 2 into 4. We don't really have a 4, but we have a good turn 5. So, I think we would go so I think we're going to go Blossoming Penguin into Penguin Who's Garden or into Sneaky Penguin into then maybe this on turn 5. So I think we don't need two Peppies. That's a little overkill because like usually, it's not like in vibes there's that much removal. And we'll play the Blossoming first because we want to win the vibe check and it has 4 vibe and the Penguin Whose Garden Grows would only have 2 vibe. So generally it's sufficient to have one like 12 vibe penguin because usually the way they'll beat you is by having a bigger penguin, not by actually having removal. So overall, I think, yeah, so I don't think we needed the second Peppy. We also still don't even have a way to activate it at all. We need to still get 2 buffs. So I think, and also some of the buffs we have, like Sliding Penguin and Supportive Friend, only buff 1 penguin. So there wouldn't even be a way to have 2 buffs on it. So I think overall, 1 Peppy is good. I'm even tempted to get rid of the other Walk the Runway next turn as a rod, but we'll see what they play. Okay, they're yellow, so against yellow, well, maybe it's caffeine actually. So still not clear exactly what it is, but we'll prioritize playing sneaky either way. Well, okay, so this is a question because if we play Penguin Whose Garden Grows, then we'll win the vibe check. Whereas if we play Sneaky Penguin, we get our card filtering started a turn earlier. And so, because we're actually, this is interesting. Well, well, let's see. Okay, well, either way, even if we play Peppy, but if we play Penguin Whose Garden Grows, then we will be able to have 4 rods next turn, no, 5 rods because we'll win the vibe check. But with 5 rods, we still can't play our 2 cards. So there's really no benefit to doing it. I'm gonna play down Walk the Runway because because if this is caffeine, I'd rather have Clean Up Good. And if it's yellow, I don't want either of them. If it's yellow, I really need Popcorn Penguin. And a buff card. So yeah, so I think Sneaky Penguin is good because right, its effect happens every turn. And so when you have an effect that happens every turn, you'd rather like get that clock started as soon as possible. So because of that, I think yeah, you want to get that down as soon as possible. All right. So let's wait. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what they do. Because right, I think it's probably yellow, but there is a chance it's caffeine. Because if it's yellow, I also don't really need cleanup good. So then that will be my rod next turn. And okay, so they still didn't play anything. So this is looking more like caffeine. Just because caffeine would play a 2-drop and then wait, and we would be seeing like a mega penguin on turn 5. So yeah, so I think it's either caffeine green mega penguin or it's just a yellow starter deck with a really bad draw, or it's a yellow starter deck that's planning to like have a extrovert come out, to have like a really big turn with an extrovert. If it's the yellow starter deck planning a big extrovert turn, then I will definitely need Hungry Penguin. So let's see what we're getting here. So Blossoming Penguin, we definitely well, do we want Blossoming Penguin? Because we could play it out this turn. But I think I'm more it's more important to find the like combo pieces than to get that out as quickly as possible. So yeah, we're gonna keep cleanup good in our hand because if this is if this is caffeine, okay, and I'll play supportive friend as the rod, I guess. Yeah, this is a really slow game because we've been tying the vibe check. So maybe, yeah, I should keep the supportive friend though because of Peppy Penguin. Because right, that might be the only way to get Peppy Penguin activated. And yeah, we definitely want to keep cleanup good for now until we confirm that it's not caffeine. Because if, like I said, if it's caffeine, cleanup good is going to be the way we win that matchup. Okay, so it's not caffeine. So it's yellow. So I think it's this like yellow starter deck with a slow start. And um yeah, so actually now that I'm thinking about it, the one card that was also on the deck list is GotEm, that maybe I'm not sure that we actually need GotEm. I mean, right now it would be really good to take care of this extrovert, but I think in general, yeah, so okay, Walk the Runway could have been interesting there to take care of the extrovert as well. But I think at this point we're just relying on getting one hungry penguin. Okay, so another one of those, we don't need that. Okay, second cleanup good. We definitely don't need that. And I think at this point we can go all in and we'll put the tokens on the Peppy Penguin because that means we're only one more buff away from getting to the threshold of 6, which will then bring it to 12. So I think even though they have an extrovert, cleanup good will outgrow the extrovert. Like with cleanup good, right? If we get the Peppy Penguin activated with cleanup good, we can get the Peppy Penguin to be 12. So I think overall, that should be sufficient. Yeah. So okay, so let's see. All right, so there. Okay, so this is definitely just yellow starter deck. Um, yeah, this matchup is not the easiest for this deck, I guess. I need to, or let me think through that a little bit. Well, if we get a popcorn penguin and a buff card, this matchup is very easy. I guess the only real problem is this extrovert. So we do have the cleanup good to handle the extrovert because, well, I guess we don't even really because we need the Peppy Penguin to get activated because the Penguin whose garden grows, right, doesn't even get its ability anymore. I guess the good news is we're actually losing the vibe check here, which is something that we are looking to do because we actually need card draw right now because we need an answer to this extrovert. Now, another answer might be Romulus, like because Romulus plus clean out good gets us to 24. And so um, we're at 10 points. We have 2 in hand, so that's 12. So theoretically, and we'll draw one more 13. So we basically are gonna aim to end the game in 2 turns. And so we're gonna see 2 more cards total. Well, if we count Sneaky Penguin, we're gonna see 5 more cards. So the question is, can we answer this extrovert in the next 5 cards? And so, okay, so here's the first one, Sliding Penguin. So I think we'll keep Sliding Penguin. And the reason we're keeping Sliding Penguin is Sliding Penguin is going to it's going to boost the Peppy. And so with Sliding Penguin, right? And so this is why it was so important to put the supportive friend on the Peppy. I guess I wonder if we should have lost the vibe check, but I think we don't want to because we want to end this game next turn. And if we lose the vibe check and we happen to draw 2 action cards, then we would basically be stuck at 14 or at 13. So by winning the vibe check, it guarantees that even if we draw an action card, although I guess with Sneaky Penguin we probably could avoid it, but now we can be a little more aggressive with our Sneaky Penguin searching. So what would be good? Um, GotEm is GotEm good? I don't think GotEm actually does anything for us here, so let's look for a different card. Second Sneaky, I'm gonna play that as a rod, just because when you have 2 Sneakies on the board, there's a bug right now where their start of turn interactions basically don't stack properly. So we'll just wait on that. Okay, so they're going for the yeah, so okay, so the question is now, so we can win here if they don't have if they don't have not your keys. So, yeah, so this is interesting because, right, if they have not your keys, then if I boost the Peppy Penguin with Cleanup Good, then, you know, but this is the last turn. Okay, so this, yeah, so this is the last turn where this will work, right? Well, because after this, the extrovert will just be straight up bigger. So the question is, what is in their hand? Because do I want one more turn? Do I want each of us to get one more card? Because if we get one more card, it gives them one more chance to get not your keys. Hmm. I'm gonna just I think we're an aggressive deck. We'll just go for it. Um, but the question is, should I actually put it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on Penguin Whose Garden Grows. And the reason for that is if they have not your keys right now, Um, if they have not your keys and then they remove the penguin whose garden grows, I will still have the Peppy Penguin available. And the Peppy Penguin will be at 12 and will tie the vibe check, which will give me one more turn to potentially win the game. So, um, whereas if I had boosted the Peppy Penguin, then they could not your keys the Peppy Penguin. Okay, so we end up winning the vibe check and winning the game. So this again just brings out one of those kind of things that are true um, about aggressive decks, which is you just need to go for it. Like you don't know if you're going to win or not, so you just like you just have to assume that they don't have it because the longer the game goes on, the higher chance is that they are going to actually have it. So anyway, all right, so we finished that game, which is good, and yeah, we did well in it. So yeah, let's jump into another game. All right. Jumping into the second game, it looks like we have pretty much the dream start of Penguin Whose Garden Grows into Sliding Penguin, into Popcorn Penguin, into Inspiring Story. So I think we'll get rid of Cleanup Good, just hoping because the one thing that could make this very slightly better is if we had a 2-drop that it was a with 4 vibe, because oh, well, there we got another Cleanup Good back. Because what that would enable us to do is just roll into it even faster because right now, oh, but now we got Sneaky Penguin. So now we even have a 2 into a 3 into a 4. And then if there's a good place for popcorn, we'll play that on 5. And if not, we'll play Inspiring Story and then we'll play popcorn. So this is about as perfect of a hand as you can have with this deck. I mean, I think I might actually prefer the a 4 vibe penguin, but I think that's we're splitting hairs at that point. So yeah, we got rid of the cleanup good just because the rest of the hand is so strong. All right, we don't need 2 of these, so we will play that. And yeah, okay, so let's continue. So overall, I think it's a good start. Um, yeah, so let's see what else happens. So yeah, so I think we're in a good position here. We'll have to yeah, we'll need to let's see. So yeah, so as they play out, the question is really going to be the timing of the popcorn. Okay, so they didn't even do anything. So the question is do we play the sliding now or do we go for the sneaky? And so the thing is like not knowing what deck they are, I still think it's good to get the sliding loaded on the deck quickly because that means we can at any point play the popcorn, but we also want to make sure they have at least two things out when we play the popcorn. Otherwise, they can just let the popcorn fizzle. So I think we're gonna play it a little slower. I think we'll play the sneaky, and I'm gonna play the peppy as a rod. I don't think we're gonna need the peppy for this game, even though actually we do have what would have been required to activate it. So maybe that was wrong, but I think I'm really feeling like we have like the game is telling us to go popcorn penguin. And okay, so it's green. So maybe in the green matchup, popcorn penguin isn't necessarily the best. But we're going to be able to get it up to 6. So I think as long as we can get at least a 2-for-1 with it, that should be okay. And we should be able to do that because we're going to basically get the sliding penguin into yeah, like into popcorn that will get the 4. So as long as they play something with 6 vibe or less, we should be able to get the 2-for-1 here. So let's see what happens. But I feel like still like this is a very like good start. I mean, okay, so or is this caffeine, right? This could always be caffeine because caffeine plays support a friend. I don't think we need the second popcorn because, well, I guess we got the third popcorn. All right, so that just means we can be more aggressive with playing our. No, I think we'll just play it as a rod because I think yeah, against like green, I don't think that we need to have 2 popcorns because there's probably not even gonna be that much to hit with it. So or are we playing caffeine maybe? I'm not sure. But so okay, so here again, you can just see the absolute speed of this deck. Like right now, we have 6 rods and 3 penguins on the board, and they have at the end of this turn, yeah, they're gonna have 5. So we're already up tempo-wise 4 things. Um, but okay, so let's see. So yeah, so I guess it doesn't really matter where I put that buff. So yeah, so this will be the turn for popcorn. And again, it's really important to win the vibe check so we have initiative on popcorn. Because like let's say that they played an inspiring story or a sliding penguin next turn. We're able to use the popcorn ability before they can pick. Okay, so this is very unfortunate because it looks like we're just playing a fairly new player because I don't think that this makes a lot of sense from a like to use your success penguin like that. So I think this is a I mean, I guess you could say that yes, they want to win that vibe check, but you know, I don't think that this is a I don't think that that's a particularly good play. So my guess is this is someone who's still new to the game. But again, one of the really nice things about the green buff aggro deck is it's just really, really punishing against unoptimized gameplay and unoptimized decks. Like at the top tier, I don't think it's actually that great because it does have a pretty straightforward game plan. It's a little more dynamic than something like too much caffeine because you have the cleanup good and but like yeah, it still is pretty easy to as long as they remove your popcorn, you can just run out of steam pretty fast. We don't need support a friend. All right, so at this point, it's kind of interesting though because yeah, our popcorn penguin is only going to get a value of 1. So I'm not even sure if it's good. I think wait, okay, so well either way, I think we'll play 1 as a rod. Um yeah, so right, maybe we're even gonna have trouble actually getting past this. I guess we'll play inspiring story because maybe we'll wait for one more thing to come out. But yeah, we actually are in a situation where we're gonna lose the vibe check. So yeah, this is something I talked about. I think before when playing this deck, it's the green starter deck. Well, no, okay, that was actually with caffeine. So the caffeine Mega Penguin deck is not very good against a green starter deck. I would say that the buff green aggro deck, right? What we really need is we need to clean up good to get past. Because like the green starter deck just basically just has a bunch of big penguins in it that just don't do much. But like, right, we need a way to get over 10 vibe. So this does make me think that the peppy would have been nice, right? Because the peppy would get us above 10 vibe. So we're missing. Yeah. So maybe we shouldn't have put the peppy down. So that's something to think about. But we still have a decent chance because we just need to tie the 10 vibe because then the penguin whose garden grows. Well, no, because that will also then only get to 10 vibe, assuming we're tying with the sliding penguin. So, all right, so they have two karate penguins. So, hmm, yeah, okay, we definitely don't need walk the runway. We don't really want GotEm. Okay, so I guess we can start the Popcorn Penguin train here. No, I think we'll hold back because I'm really hoping to 2 for 1. I don't want to play the Sneaky Penguin because of the issue with how it works right now. So, hmm. Yeah, so this is not ideal, but the good news is we have a few turns left. Yeah. So, and we'll draw 2 cards a turn. So what do we really need here? So a cleanup good would work for us, and a yeah, so a cleanup good would work, and a Romulus would work, a Peppy Penguin would work. So that's let's see how many of those are down here. One Peppy, one. So there's 10 of them left in the deck. Or no, yeah. So there's ten outs left in the deck. We're gonna draw 2 cards, but 3 cards if we count Sneaky Penguin. So basically, there's a decent chance, like, because we have 3 draws for 1 out of 10 with 37 cards in the deck. So I think there's a good chance we will find something this turn. Maybe there's even some other outs. So a second inspiring story or a second buff penguin, second sliding penguin would tie us the vibe check. So okay, well there's Romulus. So that's what we needed. So okay, so now the question is, can we? Yeah, we can definitely close out the game this turn because we'll just play Romulus, play a rod, and then yeah, Romulus will be at 14. So I think we'll be in a good spot. I mean, even if they have a cleanup good, they're not gonna be able to use it this turn. All right, so we'll put that at the bottom because we definitely don't need that. Hungry Penguin is surprisingly not useful here, just because okay, we don't need the Sneaky Penguin because right, the Hungry Penguin they have 3 things that need to be flopped. Okay, so we'll give the buff to the Penguin whose garden grows because that means we can at least uh yeah, that means that we'll have 2 things that are above the 10. So even if they have some sort of removal, which I think green doesn't actually have, um, but, like, let's say that a Luca saves the penguin. If they had a Luca saves the penguin, then we could respond by playing Walk the Runway to flop the Romulus. Well, they don't even have 5 green Pudge, so that's, I guess, not a realistic scenario. But, okay, so either way, I think we're in a good spot here. Yeah, so, okay, so let's just see what else they do, but I think we should win the game here. And, yep, okay, they pass, we pass. Vibe check, game over. All right. Nice. So 2 for 0 with the buff green aggro deck, continuing to climb the ladder. And yeah, I think, yeah, so this just kind of shows how this deck works. And yeah, so if you're looking for fast ladder games, I think this is a good choice. So okay, so let's play one more game just to kind of see if we can go 3 for 0. And yeah, then let's see what happens there. All right, let's jump into this game. So looking at the mulligans here, so we have the popcorn, which we'll definitely keep. We have a bunch of 2 drops, so I think we just need to keep. Um, yeah, so I think we'll keep max. I think we really want to only keep 1 2 drop. So I think we'll keep the penguin whose garden grows. No, okay, fine. Let's keep because the blossoming penguin might be good to go with the penguin whose garden grows. So I guess we'll keep 2. And okay, good. We got the inspiring story, so we got a buff for popcorn. All right, we definitely don't need 2 penguin whose garden grows. So I think the question is going to be, do we play blossoming or popcorn, or penguin whose garden grows? And I think we'll play blossoming first because we want to really start ramping out those rods. And yeah, so we'll get the only sad thing is we don't really want to play popcorn on the second turn, just because okay, we got sneaky perfect. So then yeah, so I kind of like my whole hand. So I think, yeah, I guess I'll just play it a little slower. I'll play the penguin whose garden grows this turn because next turn the sneaky will have 4 vibe. So it's kind of going to be the same as the other line, but the difference is we're much less likely to get an extra rod this turn because we might lose this vibe check. But right, it's always about planning out your hand, and we have sneaky. So we have sneaky for this turn, and then inspiring story for next turn. So really, we didn't need to be on the 2 4 6 rod plan because being on the 2 3 5 kind of mana curve or rod curve is really what we want to was actually what fits our hand. Okay, again, we're playing green with a popcorn penguin, which is not the best card for green, but at least we have the Romulus. So I do think I still think we're in a pretty good position here. So let's see what they what type of green it is. I guess this could be caffeine, but we just played a green starter deck, so there's probably a higher chance that we're playing some more starter decks. But okay, so let's see. So okay, so they are okay. So I guess they're just running out of time. And okay, so now it's action phase. So nothing, no actions. Again, this deck is very action light. It has more actions than something like the caffeine deck, but it really doesn't really rely on actions. It's really more about the like popcorn engine and then just the buffing engine. So support a friend. Could be interesting with popcorn, maybe. Although, right, this is kind of like an anti synergy combo because if you use support a friend to buff popcorn, then the popcorn eventually will have to remove the support a friend. Okay, well, we'll use GotEm as the rod no matter what, just because the only thing it can do is be the rod. So, okay, so they have two targets for the for popcorn once it gets boosted to 4 vibe. So I think we'll be in a good stage. Because right, we can play Inspiring Story this turn, and then we can play Popcorn the following turn. Hopefully they'll still have two targets on the board. We'll get some nice card advantage, and maybe then even we can use Support a Friend to boost it up. Okay, oh yes, sliding is perfect because that's gonna go even better with popcorn. Okay, so we definitely won't need Support a Friend. I'll play Inspiring Story first, just because it fits with the rods. Because there's some chance. So right, we're gonna go Inspiring Story. Next turn we'll play Popcorn when we will have 7 rods. Um, at that point in time, then we can play sliding. Okay, so this is some sort of so they put a flying penguin in there. I guess maybe for a little more early game. So either way, yeah. So again, the ordering there is important because the inspiring story has to trigger before the penguin whose garden grows, so that we're tied 6 vibes with the curious penguin, which then means the penguin whose garden grows gets the boost. Why do we want to win the vibe check? So again, this is an important point on that we're this aggro deck, and we just basically want to end the game as quickly as possible. And right, if you look at my hand right now, I have and I'm gonna draw 1 card, so I'm gonna have 4 cards I need to play, and I only have 5 rods. So if I don't win the vibe check, which is gonna happen now, I'm gonna end up with 5 cards in my hand. So it's gonna become difficult to empty my hand fast enough to end the game on that final turn that I like the earliest turn I could end the game. So, but it was very expensive for them to win the vibe check because they basically spent a whole card. So that's -1 card advantage, and on top of that, it's -1 tempo because they not only lost a card advantage wise, um, and whenever I say card advantage, I just mean like what's the total number of kind of cards in your hand, like cards you have total, but then also tempo, like how many are on the board. So okay, so we do have Walk the Runway, which is not really useful here. Um, because okay, so they have extrovert. All right. Well, luckily the popcorn penguin will be able to take care of that unless they play a flying penguin. So this looks like it's someone looks like a hybrid yellow green deck. So that I'm not, I don't think that's a particularly strong deck, just because like a lot of yellow's cards are synergistic with themselves. I don't think we need another popcorn. I think we're really looking for, so we'll play GotEm as a rod for ways to end the game. Okay, so we have popcorn. All right, so we want to put the boost like this. So right, because now inspiring story will boost the sneaky. We definitely get rid of the extrovert over the flying, just because the extrovert can grow and grow faster than our popcorn can grow. Although our popcorn, we can grow it up to all the way to 6 vibe. So it should be able to take care of this entire board. But anyway, yeah. So we would have been at 13 cards. Like say we had perfectly played our full hand down, we would be at 13 cards this turn. So we still wouldn't have been able to win. So as long as we win next turn, we're still on like the fastest path that's possible. So, um, yeah, okay, Romulus. Hmm. No, we don't want another Romulus. We want like a cheap card. Okay, so can we play 2 things this turn? No, yeah, so we're gonna be 1 turn slow. So I'll just play another inspiring story. And I guess the Walker Runaway, I don't even have Pudge to play it. Overall, okay, so we went 3 for 3. So that's a good showing for the deck. So that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, And if you have any ideas on what type of decks you want me to play, just leave a comment. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, until next time. Thanks, everyone.